Hi, my name is Irina, I'm the owner of the blog Lipstick Cafe, and this video will be about the expiry date, decluttering our makeup collection, and fun bits and pieces like that. We are going to decide what goes in the bin, what stays with me. So it's going to be a video filled with reviews, so go grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and let's get into it. These are my drawers with makeup, and each drawer has a specific category of makeup. So for example, the first drawer is skincare and primers, and then the second drawer is foundations, setting powders, and so on. And then the third drawer is what we're gonna look into today, which is bronzers, blush, and highlighters. And as you can see, it's a bit of a mess. I have to admit, most of them are expired or just really old or things I'm not using anymore. So what we're gonna do today is finally get into decluttering it and chuck out everything that's expired or is not suitable anymore. Now, I'm not sure if many of you are aware, but makeup expires. Most products have an expiration date on the back. You're gonna have this sign, this symbol with a container with a lid, and whatever says on that, it's the expiry date after opening. So for example, this one says 9 months, which means that once I've opened this, I've got 9 months to use it, after which is expired. Something that I found really shocking, really, is when I was reviewing the Tati Beauty eyeshadow palette, I didn't see an expiry date after opening, and I looked up online, and apparently the legislation does not specify that you do have to put an expiry date on all products in every country. So for example, in the EU, it's the law. You have to put the expiration date after opening on cosmetics, but in the US, for example, you do not have to do that because the law doesn't say so. So some products in the States will not have the expiry date after opening, which to me is just mind-blowing. But it is what it is. Anyway, you will have this expiration date on most of your cosmetic product, and you need to keep a track of it and try to filter your makeup as time passes to see what is expired and what you can still use. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I was not always aware of this. I didn't take care of this up until a year ago, when I became more educated about ingredients in expiration dates and things like that. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know it all and I'm telling you what to do. We are learning together, and I think it's a very important thing to get educated about. So I've got all the products in front of me, and we're very quickly going to review them as well as we're deciding what we're keeping and what we're not. And the first thing we have here on top is the Max & More Conceal, Highlight and Contour palette, and I bought this in Home Bargains and I think it was only £2, and I filmed a full review for it, but I haven't edited it yet. This is the palette. It's a contour and highlight palette. This is not expired yet. It says 9 months after opening, and it did not pass that long, so I will keep this one. So whatever I'm just gonna put here onto the left of this drawer. The next thing we have is this Makeup Revolution London blush palette. It's pretty old. This was my absolutely favorite palettes throughout the years. I've used this every single day. These two shades were my favorites, as I'm sure you can tell from the use of it. And then the highlighters were also gorgeous. I loved the variety of it. It was so inexpensive. I think it was just like a few pounds, and you know, it gave you these peachy colours, the pinky blushes. I'm not sure if Makeup Revolution still makes this, but if they do, I would highly recommend to go grab it because it's a very versatile palette for just a few pounds, and it's really good. That being said, the expiration date is 12 months after opening, and oh boy, this is long past its validity time, so I will unfortunately have to let this go, which is really sad, but absolutely brilliant item. Goodbye, my love. We had a beautiful journey together, and I'm gonna miss you. Goodbye. This goes in the bin box. The next thing we have here is the Master Sculpt from Maybelline in shade 01 Light. I have to admit, this is extremely old and I haven't used it that much. I can't even remember if I liked it or not, I'm afraid. It's quite a cute box. You have the product here, and then when you open this bit here, you have quite a big mirror and a brush to go with it. This is 24 months after opening, but I've been having this for... It definitely needs to go. I'll put it in the bin box. Then the next thing we have is this MUA Bronze Perfection Matte Bronzer. And it's a big pan. It's very spacious and easy to kind of put very chunky brush and just swirl it around and then bronze your face with it. It is a very beautiful colour in terms that it's not too bronzy, it's not too orangey. I think this is more suitable for those of you that have cool undertones. It was a product I really liked, however, I have quite a warm undertone. It tends to be neutral in winter, but because I'm a blonde and because my hair is it has a very warm colour, I feel like this made my face look a bit too pink for my own liking. I'm not sure if it was oxidizing or what was the deal, but otherwise it was a nice product, but it's definitely expired because I've had it for a few years and I haven't been using it in a long time, so I have to let it go. It goes in the bin box. The next thing we have is this blush from Essence, the Blush Up Powder Blush. It's a very intense colour, almost like a fuchsia. Is that a word in English? It's a very bright pink and orange. And this blush was lovely, very intense colour, so I feel like it's more suitable to maybe a deeper skin tone, but it was very beautiful. I used to love using it in the summer, however I bought this, oh my god, I'm even embarrassed to tell you how many years ago I bought this, so it absolutely has to go. But really nice product. I really love Essence as a brand. Goodbye, baby. This is the Revolution Baked Highlighter. If you're a bit surprised that, I don't know, the packaging of these Revolution products or it's a bit weird, it's because I did have a Makeup Revolution beauty advent calendar a few years ago and all these products came from there. So this is a baked highlighter. It was pretty at its time. It's a bit powderish now, probably because it's a few years expired. But I have to let this go. It was okay. I wouldn't necessarily repurchase this, but this is definitely very expired, so it has to go. Next thing is another thing from Makeup Revolution, and I actually have two of these. Yep, here we go. So they're two baked blushers. I got these in the same makeup advent calendar from Makeup Revolution. I haven't used them a lot because they leave a sheen on your skin, so it kind of has a luminous dewy effect. And at the time I had really acne prone skin, really oily, so it was a bit difficult for me to wear because my skin was already producing a lot of oil, so it wasn't my favorite product at the time. But I would definitely repurchase this now, because now after I've taken Roaccutane, my skin is significantly drier than before, and I love kind of sheer luminous finishes of products, so I would definitely use these again and I would repurchase them if I would find them. This is a more blushy, pinkish, fresh colour. This one is a bit more plum colour. I feel like this would suit darker skin tones more than this one. These are definitely expired. I've been having these for a few years now and they're expired after 12 months of opening, so I have to let them go. But big shout out, I really enjoyed it, but I have to let them go. The next thing is this highlighter from Becca, which is my absolute favourite. I've been using it every day, really. It is absolutely gorgeous. It leaves a very natural sheen effect. I'm wearing it today. I think this is one of the best highlighters I've ever had. It just has a very elegant finish. It gives you that luminosity that you want from your highlighter, but at the same time it's not powdery, so it almost looks like skin, which I really like. So this expires 24 months after opening. It is still valid. It's my everyday highlighter. So this one stays with me. Next thing, we have this blush from Bourjois. I love this one so much. I think I've seen it at Lisa Eldridge, which is when I decided to purchase it, and it has such a vintage look to it. I absolutely love it. Now, the problem I've had with this one is that after I've been using it for a while, it just got this sheen on it. It didn't allow me to pick up any more product, and then I tried to scratch it a bit to make the powder come to the surface again, but it just didn't work anymore. So if I put a brush in it and swirl it around, there's no product coming off anymore. It's really perfumed. Oh, it really smells like a perfume. I did enjoy it while it worked. Unfortunately, this is expired now. I would definitely repurchase this because I think it's a beautiful product and it doesn't feel like it's drugstore at all. I think it has a very elegant packaging. It's definitely a beautiful blush, but if you had this and the same thing with the layer on top happened to you, please write me in the comments because I'm quite curious. So this has to go. The next thing we have is this Rimmel Insta Duo Contour Stick. You've seen me using this in my videos before, in my 2019 makeup routine. I've only bought this a few months ago. This expires after 24 months after opening, so this is still valid, although I'm pretty sure I'm gonna finish it before that. It also has a highlighter on the other end, which I've never used, but it's a really good product, and this stays with me because it is my contour stick that I use every single day for my makeup. Next thing, we have this Makeup Academy Undress Your Skin Illuminating Liquid Gold, and I didn't like this product at all. I think it's one of the worst makeup items I've ever had. I am a fan of MUA makeup. I really like their lipsticks, lip glosses, nail polishes, but this one was such a completely fail for me. I never got to use it. I think it was only a few pounds, but it's just, I'm gonna try and see if I can show you. It's a liquid highlighter, but it doesn't really give you any luminosity. It just is very patchy. It just moves your makeup around. So I really didn't like this. Never really used it that much, but it's definitely quite expired because I bought it a few years ago, so this goes in the bin box. Next thing we have is this contour and highlighter product, which is from Collection, and I've used this quite a lot. It wasn't my absolute favourite, but it did its job. I felt like the highlighter was a bit too powderish and the bronzer was a bit too dark for my skin tone. But overall, not a bad product. It's very affordable as well. But this is extremely expired. This is really old. So this goes in the bin box. The next thing, we have the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, which is a waterproof bronzing powder, and again I bought this at the recommendation of Lisa Eldridge. I absolutely love it. I think it's a fantastic bronzer. It's only like £5, so I'm a huge fan of this. I think the colour suits my skin so well. It blends like a dream. It stays put all day. It's very beautiful, and this is not expired. Oh, actually it has 13 months after opening, which is quite fantastic. So yeah, definitely purchase this one. It's just a few pounds and it lasts you for a few years. This stays with me because it's not expired, and I use it every day. Next thing, we have this highlighter from Makeup Revolution, again from their makeup advent calendar a few years ago. It's a cream highlighter. It wasn't my favourite just because it was a bit too yellow to look natural on my skin, but this is expired as well, so this has to go. Next thing we have this Holographic Glow highlighter, which I think I got from Children's Magazine when I was doing some research. This is not expired, it says it's expiring in a few months. So I'm gonna keep this for now, maybe I'll find its use. So this stays with me. Let's get rid of this huge palette. It looks almost like a children's book, to be honest. It looks kind of beautiful in terms that it's very creative. I don't really understand the idea behind having so many bronzers and contour things which are pretty much the same shade. So this would make sense to me if one was cool tone, was for warm tone, what one would be for deeper skin tones, what would be for lighter skin tones and things like that. But this to me, it just looks like they're almost the same variation. I haven't liked this. I think it was just not showing on my skin, if I remember correctly. Oh no, I just put my nail into it. So this goes in the bin box, but I'll put it somehow on the side. Next thing we have this highlighter from Makeup Revolution, Vivid Baked Highlighter, and this is extremely old, so I'm not even sure if you can find it anymore. As you can see, it's in a pretty bad state. I really liked this at the time. It was a bit too cool toned and purple for my skin to look natural, but it looked very beautiful on my skin. So as I've mentioned before, I did have tremendous success with Makeup Revolution's blushes and highlighters before, so I would definitely repurchase some from the brand in the future, but this one is extremely expired, and I know there's no thing it's extremely expired, but I feel like as makeup lovers, you know, they're never just good or expired, they're always kind of almost expired, kind of expired, very expired. Anyway, I've been having this for a few years, so it really needs to go. Next thing we have this cream blush from Illamasqua in the shade Rude, and it's a beautiful product. I've been using it for a really long time. It says 9 months after opening, so this is expired, which would explain why it didn't perform as nice as it used to. I'm not sure if I would repurchase this for the reason that it doesn't stay throughout the day, so it looks absolutely gorgeous. When you apply it, it blends very beautifully. It complements your skin, it looks just like skin. It's an amazing product in terms of that, but it does fade throughout the day. It won't look like you were wearing blush at all. So for that reason, I'm not sure if I'm convinced by it. It's still a good product, but this one is more pricey. I think it's £20 or so. I won this at a beauty event. I'm not quite ready to let go of this one just because I might take a few pictures of it and write a full review on my blog or even do a video here. So I will keep it for now, but it is expired. I really like the packaging. But yes, I will just keep it for research purposes for now. Next thing we have this blush from Revolution, again in shade... Oh no, this is a eyeshadow. Oh, excuse me. Put this away. Next thing we have the same natural bronzer from Rimmel that I've discussed before, but this one is expired, which is why I repurchased the other one. It's a complete mystery to me why I didn't put this in the bin to begin with, but anyway, this is a different shade. It's 022 Sun Bronze. I think I prefer the lighter version that I have at the moment, but anyway, this expired, which is why I purchased a new one. I will just put it in the bin. Next thing we have the oh my god, one of my favorite makeup items in my entire collection. We have the Jennifer Lopez collaboration with Inglot body and face highlight. I absolutely love this. It's my baby. I really like it. Let's see if I can show you or if it's just a mess. It has a puff, which is really handy. It's a gorgeous highlighter, which I feel like it looks wet. It's really intense. I love it. Now I'm gonna be fully honest with you. This is expired. It says 18 months after opening, so this is expired, but I do not intend to use this on my face. I want to use it on my body in the summer once I get to wear sleeveless things and dresses. It's one of my favorite things. See, I'm trying to give advice to you that you have to get rid of expired makeup, and here I am. This stays with me. Next thing, we have this chunky bronzer. I purchased this really long time ago. I'm not sure I knew how to use it at the time. It's just a cream bronzer. It's too warm for my skin, I think. It's really expired. It's definitely a few years expired at least. So this has to go. Put it in the bin box. Next thing, we have this eyeshadow from Sporty, but I use this to contour my nose. It's a very cool tone taupe shade. I feel like I had a time when I was really pale, and this looked really nice as a nose contour, but it's definitely expired now, and I'll have to let it go. Then we have the Miss Sporty Insta Glow blusher, and I was using this for a really long time a few years ago. I really enjoyed this. I'm not sure if I would like it just as much now. It's just expired, so I have to let go. Next thing is this Precision Contouring stick from Collection, and I really enjoyed this. It's very cool tone, so it's really nice to use it on your nose and kind of try and create shadows with it rather than just bronze your skin. But I did forget about it for a while. I think it fell from my desk and it went like behind furniture, and I found it like a few years later, so I have to let it go, but I would definitely repurchase this. I definitely like this, but I have to let it go for now. We have this Revolution bronzer, and which was again from their makeup advent calendar, and I really like this. I think it was a nice bronzer. It is the bronzer, oh, I just said bronzer. Okay, if I'm holding it next to my face, you can tell it's a gorgeous shade. It suits my skin really well. It's not too obvious. It's just a beautiful shade, kind of in between warm and cool, which is a really nice color. But I mean, these things are subjective. It really depends on your skin tone and undertones. But I would repurchase this. This, however, is expired, so I need to let it go. Next thing, we have this cushion cheek color from Sugarball. It's the cream blush I'm currently using, but if you open it, it's so it's so beautiful. It has a very beautiful full round mirror. This blush is my absolutely favorite blush at the moment. A friend gave it to me. It's Korean makeup. I've been willing to try something like that for a while, and when she visited, she got it for me. I think this is one of the best products I've ever had. It's absolutely gorgeous. It blends like a dream, and compared to the Illamasqua one, this one stays put all day long. This is fantastic. I've just opened it. I don't see an expiry after opening, so I'm just gonna have to keep track and maybe see how the texture changes over time. But very beautiful blush. I absolutely love it, and this stays with me because it's new. Another blush that is new, I haven't even opened this, is the MAC Powder Blush Bashful Are We in satin. I absolutely love this. I'm sorry if light is going to reflect on it, but I do not want to open it before I actually use it. I'm really keen to try it, and I think I'm going to film a MAC dedicated video. So this obviously stays with me. And another new blush I've got is this NARS blush in shade Orgasm. So I am really absolutely delighted that I got this in the Debenhams Beauty Advent Calendar. This is just absolutely adorable. I think this is so cute. This definitely stays with me, and I cannot wait to try it and see what the hype is about with this one. And then we have the Revolution Liquid Highlighter. I don't think I've used this a lot. I think I probably didn't use it much at all. It's just, I feel like I'm not the biggest fan of liquid highlighters just because they don't seem to dry in a wet kind of look. They just look almost powdery even though they're liquid, and they just tend to kind of shift your foundation around. Or maybe I just haven't found the right one, but I'm not the biggest fan of this one. I'm afraid it's expired anyway, so I do have to let it go. The next thing is the Rosie for Autograph Radiance highlighter, and if I used this, I talked about this in my Marks and Spencer's summer beauty box video, which is on my channel, so go find that one. This is just simply too dark for me. Sorry, I just sniffed it. See, even this one, it's a highlighter, but I don't see the glow. It just looks powderish almost. So I'll see what I can do with this one. I will keep it for now simply because it's not expired yet. I'll maybe integrate it in like some fun, creative, editorial looks. So this stays with me for now. And then we have the Olivia Hale Liquid Highlighter. This is not expired yet, so I am keeping it for now. So let's see the difference after the decluttering we've got. Ta-da! There's a lot more space. It's I can see all the products I've got. This section is blushes, this section is highlighters, and then just bronzers, the palette with everything in it as I've mentioned. And I'm very proud of how this looks. It gives me a lot more space to see what I've got. It gives me a lot more space to purchase or try new products if I want to. So there we have it. I know this has taken a really long time. I'm sure your cup of coffee or your cup of tea is long gone since we started this video, but if you've watched it all, thank you so much. Oh boy, this is just the beginning of a series of decluttering, so stay tuned. If you enjoy videos like these, quick reviews, organizing, cleaning and things like that, stay tuned and subscribe because I will post a lot more videos about this. I have a lot more makeup like lipsticks, foundations, primers, and they're all in separate drawers, so we will get to those. I will do some research in town with shops like Debenhams or Boots to see if they have any programs of recycling makeup, and if I do find something about it, I will let you know in the description down below of this video, so please have a look at that because makeup tends to be more difficult to recycle than usual items. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you again on my channel. Please check my blog, Lipstick Cafe, where I post in-depth reviews, ingredients analysis, interviews with professionals and things like that. And don't forget to check my Instagram where I post creative images about things I do here. I wish you an absolutely lovely rest of the day and I hope to see you soon.